Alright, before I get started here, I have reached 16,000 subs, so yeah, once again, thank you very much for that, and that means I add one Dazzler Pass to the February giveaway, and every 1,000 subs in January equals plus one Dazzler Pass giveaway on February 1st. 17,000 subs is the next milestone, and there is a bonus incentive of I will rank 3 Kang or OG Thanos if we hit that milestone in January. So yeah, subscribe if you want to be a part of the fun. And now let's talk about the Deathless Necropolis challenge. So this challenge has really opened my eyes to some characters, and it's not Thanos, it's not Vision, it's not King Groot, it's Guillotine and She-Hulk. So I'm gonna verbally explain who I use for each fight, and I'll have some solos in the background, only 2 solos because I'm still sick and I can't really commentate on very long videos. Like if I tried doing a 1-hour video right now, I would probably like pass out halfway through, right? So let's do it a bit more chill, and let me just tell you about who I used throughout my run. So for my run, I used pretty much only She-Hulk and Guillotine. Sounds crazy, but it's true. I went in to this challenge with only a rank 1 Deathless Thanos, only a rank 1 Vision, and only a rank 1 King Groot. My Guillotine is rank 3. She is my queen. She is the absolute queen of the Deathless. Really enjoy her. But I also have a rank 2 She-Hulk, and I will not lie to you, that woman absolutely carried as well. Both She-Hulk and Guillotine did all of the fights except for one. Deathless Thanos did take like 60% of Omega Sentinel, but once he couldn't do that final phase, I used Guillotine and she dealt with it with absolute ease. So let me run through the paths and who I used. So first path is the Titania path. That is Titania, Vision Arcus, Omega Sentinel, and then there is, I think, like, what's the order? Airwalker, Captain Britain, Wiccan, Psycho Man. So I used, sorry, one second. Just have to try to remember here. I used She-Hulk for Titania. I used Guillotine Deathless for Vision Arcus. I used Thanos for the first half of Sentinel, of Omega Sentinel, and then Guillotine for the second half. Then I used Guillotine for Airwalker, I used Guillotine for Captain Britain, I used She-Hulk for Wiccan, and then I used She-Hulk for Psycho Man. Guillotine and She-Hulk can clear the whole thing for you if you want to. You can use Guillotine for the first 50% of Omega Sentinel as well. If you just have those 2 champions at rank 2, rank 3 is even better for Guillotine. You are cruising through this Necropolis challenge because they are all solos. Like, Titania was a solo, Arcus was a solo, Omega Sentinel was like a 2-way solo. This fight right here, this Airwalker, which she is like absolutely crushing, by the way, because she has access to neutralize on the SP1, and that SP1 neutralize gets rid of like any threat from the Power Cosmic. Additionally, you have like Wiccan, which is a solo, coming up in this video. You have Captain Britain, who is a solo as well. Then you have Psycho Man, who should be a solo, but I fumbled it, so we don't talk about that, but that is a solo as well. So yeah, man, you do not need the you don't need the other 3. You don't need Thanos. Like, that sounds crazy. It sounds like I'm insane, but if y'all want me to, if this video can get, like, I guess 200 likes, I will drop the full path run where I just use these 2 girls, where I just use Guillotine and She-Hulk. Yeah, I guess I'll put that at the start as well, but yeah, like, I am not kidding. You just need these 2 champions, and that's it. The other 3 are just synergy. Like, I'm being completely serious. The damage output from Guillotine is just incredible, obviously. She's the best for the shorter fights for a reason, but with the Deathless team, she gets such a big damage enhancement to the point where she is actually good for these higher health pools as well. She did, let's see, she did like, what, 3 fights on this path? She did Arcus, Airwalker, and Captain Britain, so like that's a very good resume. Definitely a very, very solid resume. Those are some of the toughest fights on this path, especially Airwalker, where like if you can't solo him, you have to revive and like really struggle against him. But yeah, she gets the solo with absolute ease, and like the degen damage is like, what, 2,755. That's a lot of degen, because in like one combo, if you get lucky crits, it's about 2 to 3 per combo. If you get really lucky crits, it's like 4 to 5. And like those 4 crit combos, absolutely unreal. Like, just does so much damage. So yeah, here we drop the SP1, and this matchup is pretty much over. Like, he can't really do anything to us because he's neutralized. We got rid of the Power Cosmic earlier by nullifying it with the SP1. It's really just game over for him. And yeah, here I dropped the SP1 again just to keep the neutralize active, so he has no way of getting that Power Cosmic back, and he's like at, what, 7%? So matchup is like pretty much done. We go back in, got 1 crit there only, but we did get a 31,000 SP1 crit. She's not known to be like a crit character, or like she does good crit damage, but I don't know, man. Maybe the narrative's changing, because she absolutely crushed that final part of the fight. And that was like a 5-minute solo of Airwalker. Pretty solid stuff. Now we have this Wiccan fight with She-Hulk, and this is an absolute violation on all accounts, man. Wiccan gets absolutely, like, I don't even know. He gets destroyed in this fight. I do mess up a few times, but like it's still a 3-minute solo, so that should like tell you everything you have to know, because that is absolutely insane. And I will talk about the second path of this little challenge right now. So you start with Apocalypse. I use She-Hulk there, that was a solo. You go on to Tigra. I use She-Hulk there, also a solo. And then you go to Hercules, and I soloed that with Guillotine, but I'll be completely honest, if you don't have a rank 3 one, it won't be a solo. It'll be a very tough solo if you have a rank 2 one, but I guess it is doable. Yeah, so that was a solo as well. Then you have, what else do you have? You have Sam Wilson. That's a solo with She-Hulk. You can use Thanos if you want, but if you don't want to use him and you want to use She-Hulk, it is a solo. So it doesn't really matter who you use, because they both are solos, but She-Hulk is just cooler if you ask me. Actually, that's a lie. Thanos is so cool, but I just didn't feel like using him in this run, to be honest. I was too lazy. I was just like, give me the better Necropolis champion, so I use She-Hulk. And then Dragon Man is She-Hulk. That is a solo. I do apologize. My memory is very fuzzy right now because I am very sick, and I almost fainted like 3 times throughout my Necropolis run just because I was walking around while doing the challenge, since I can only do challenges when I'm walking around, which is why I don't stream them, by the way. And yeah, I almost fainted because I shouldn't be walking while I'm sick, but I am, and it's not going well. Anyway, Sam Wilson, we already talked about, so we're up to Captain America Infinity War. There I used She-Hulk, which was a solo, and then I used Guillotine for Nova, which she can solo, but I messed up because I am very dumb, and I finished off with She-Hulk, which is another solo. I mean, it was like a cleanup, but good enough. Then you get to Grandmaster, and then you just like, you throw everyone at Grandmaster, and then you have to use Vision for the final phase, unfortunately. I'd rather not have to use Vision. You know, I'm not saying I hate Vision, but he kind of ruined like the vibe of the run, because I was just using the girls, and it was a really fun time because they are absolutely crazy, right? You know, but it's fine. Like, Vision, necessary evil, got that final phase done so nicely. And yeah, you'll see the Grandmaster fight in this video, but look at the damage that She-Hulk is doing, man. Like, this is why she solos everything, because this damage output is like absolutely crazy. And I am now realizing why I don't make 20-minute videos, because my voice is starting to hurt, my throat, sorry. But yeah, right there, absolutely crushed that fight in 3 minutes. Now we have her versus the Grandmaster, and I took down like the first 2 phases with guillotine. I'll talk to you about them like right now. So quick reminder, quick like I guess reference. I might post like a solo video, like a separate video of this fight, but phase 1 is red light, green light. So the question is, have you seen Squid Games? If the answer is yes, then you know what to do. If it's not, like if the answer is no, then it becomes a bit different. So there's the red light, green light phase where every like so often he will say red light or green light. If he says red light, everything freezes and you have to freeze as well. You cannot use any inputs while the red light is active, or else you get the red tokens. The red tokens are bad. They mean that you will eventually get like one shot if you build up to 3 of them. And he will ban attacks as you do them, such as your light attack, your parry, your knockdown, and your dexterity. Once all 4 are banned, he unbans them all, drops the SP1, gets wounded. That's where you do your damage. Phase 2 is Grandmaster says. So same rules apply with like the red tokens, and like if you build up 3 of them, you will get one shot. But there is a different little thing, like a whole different phase where he will say Grandmaster says, and then he'll follow it up with a prompt. You have to complete the prompt if he says Grandmaster says. If he doesn't say Grandmaster says, do not complete the prompt, because if you do it, you'll get a token of red, a red token, right? So that's the most important thing. Just remember and like just make sure you know if it says Grandmaster says or not. And the same thing is with this final phase that I'm showing right now. If it says Grandmaster says knock me down, I knock him down. If it says just knock me down, do not knock him down. Just do whatever except that, right? And yeah, then like once you complete 5 challenges, or like you purposely fail 5 challenges, you get him wounded, and then you do your damage, and then you kind of finish the fight. And then there's the final phase, but we'll get to that in just a second, because She-Hulk is still... Oh, hold on. That was my baby brother crying in the background. That caught me off guard, but yeah. There is the final phase, which we're about to get to. I was like, okay, I have so many tokens built up here. If I somehow fumble this, I'm gonna be so mad, and I just do not want to mess this up. Keep in mind, here's like the difference with this phase compared to the last one. It's different prompts, but also you have reverse controls the entire time. So if you don't like reverse controls, I'm sorry, but you have to deal with them in this phase, because if you try to bring a reverse control immune champion, you pretty much get like instantly knocked out. So yeah, be careful. Do not bring a reverse control immune champion except for the final phase, right? The only one that's reverse control immune is Vision, I'm pretty sure. So you want to have Vision ready for the final phase at like full health ideally. So yeah, phase complete, and then he like... I didn't even show it, okay. But here's the final phase, like actually. He gains indestructible, immortality, and death immunity, and you have to get rid of all the prompts. First one is by intercepting, which I did right there. What I also did right there is drop the SP1, which is the second way of removing one of the effects. And then the second to last one is by dropping the SP2. And then once you drop the SP2, you have to drop the SP3, and then you complete the challenges, and that one-shots the Grandmaster. And then you have completed the Necropolis run with deathless characters only. and he didn't even touch King Groot, and you can honestly not even touch Thanos if you don't want to. So yeah, very straightforward. Very straightforward, very easy with the right champions. Here I dropped the SP2. I did the intercept just in case I forgot, but I did not forget, so that just made me look a bit silly. Anyway, yeah, we are pretty much done here. I cannot fumble this by like missing the dex on the SP1, because keep in mind that if you miss the dex on the SP1 and you like take all 3 tokens to the face, you will get 3 tokens of like red, and then you will get 1 shot. So yeah, keep that in mind. Not very fun. But here I dropped the SP3, and that is the challenge complete. That was fever dream type of stuff when you do it sick, right? I'm like, did I actually just do that? And yeah, I did. There we go, challenge complete. Deathless Thanos is awakened. I don't know if I'll be ranking him up right now, but that's okay. Now we have some rewards to open though. I have 3 of these crystals. I want to see new champions, I want to see good awakenings, and that's really it. So if I can get either one of those, that is a success. Let's see though. First crystal is gonna be, that is exactly what I want. That is a new champion, 7-star Misty Knight. That's good. She's not the best character out there obviously, but she is still very fun to play, and maybe she's underrated, you know. I only one way to find out, I guess, right? Gotta rank 3 her. I'm kidding, but maybe I'm not. And that right there is also what I want. A first time awakening of a champion that honestly is looking pretty dang solid. So yeah, Silver Sable awakened. Might have to make a video on her now, so that's perfect. And Misty Knight might get a video. I don't know actually. Don't know if anyone wants to see that. Final crystal though, already off to a great start, and it ends with a champion that is like pretty good, but that's a Sig 60. I'm not too fussed about Sig 60 Ironheart, sue me, but that's a lot of signature levels on a champion that is rank 2 of course, but I don't really see a future where I rank 3 her like right now, so not too fussed. However, we now have this choice, and we have the choice of Maestro or a Titan Nexus. Now this is a really important decision obviously. I want you to really think about it, right? I don't really have any advice to give you. If you like Maestro and you like his value on defense and attack, pick Maestro. If you want to gamble and like see how your luck is and you don't care about the Maestro awakening, go for the Titan Nexus. Now, I'm not saying I don't care about Maestro, but I am a gambling man, so I thought I'd just try to like, you know, get the jackpot here, which is Jack-o'-lantern for me. So let's open this crystal, and the options are 7-star versions of Rintra, Iron Man Infamous, and Enchantress, all awakenings or sig levels, and that is kind of a dud of an opening. Yeah, probably best to play it safe by taking Maestro. So yeah, I kind of regret it. You know, I have 2 good options here, Rintra or Infamous Iron Man, and I'm gonna go with Infamous Iron Man in the end because Rintra gets like situationally worse with a dupe, so I want to keep him unduped for now because yeah, like he will do his like ideal matchups better unawakened. So that's like my thought process, and I think Infamous Iron Man does get a good benefit of awakened, and he does have access to prestige, which might be useful like in the future. So I think it has to be iDoom. I can see a lot of arguments for Rintra for sure, but I think this had to be Infamous Iron Man, like for now at least. And yeah, let's claim that Infamous Iron Man. Let's get him. And you know, I picked an awakening of this guy over an awakening of Maestro, but you know, I can't look back now. And as Triple H once said, before he like ruined a lot of people's lives, he said there is always a plan B, right? I have a plan B, and I didn't come here unprepared, right? I always had a plan if I, you know, didn't really luck out. I got a gem, right? I use it on Maestro, no regrets. He really wants the dupe. It is such a good awakening. If you don't have a cosmic awakening gem, take Maestro. Trust me, it is such a good dupe, and you'll see that in a future video. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on this Necropolis challenge. Did you find it easy? What was your rewards if you, like, you know, open the Titan Nexus as well? And yeah, that's about it for me.